Hey everyone, welcome back to Dinoboy Gaming, or Jacob Thompson 30 if you watch me on TikTok. Here we have Transformers Legacy Evolution Animated Universe Prowl. Now, this is one of my favorite characters from Transformers Animated when it came out back in 2007. His mold is very accurate to the original show. I very much love this. I love how much detail they packed into this figure. If you look from the back, it's got the seat that's usually there. Well, it's usually like this in the show, but I like having it up here because it gives it, more of a more decent look. I don't really have any nitpicks with this, unlike the other Transformers toy from Transformers Legacy I reviewed. There will probably be a link in the description of the YouTube video when I post that, when I upload that, or just look up Transformers Laser Prime reviews and you'll find it. Last time I reviewed Laser Prime, but this is one of my favorite characters. It's very accurate to the show. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the accessories. He comes with his signature shurikens, and I'm not gonna lie, these aren't that bad. They're not as bad as how some other people say it is. I like them, and you can slip this into his hand, have him goring the Decepticons, have him throwing these, have him throw these into Sometimes it doesn't want to but fold all the way out. For me, I don't know why. They're not broken on mine, unlike some people's, where they don't want to work properly, but... Okay, so we're going to start with the accessories. So, he comes with his signature Shuriken wheel covers, but I do like how they did the design. I like how intricate they did it. They made it kind of, whoops, didn't mean for that to happen. They kind of made it where the blades are kind of kept on the outside, and you just swivel it. Whoops, we fixed the camera there. But that's enough about the figure. Here's the box. You got Prowl. You got Prowl. You got his Evo Fusion gimmick, which is not really a gimmick, really. You got the plastic free packaging, and then embellishes some blah blah. Words, things, barcodes, and that's it for the packaging. Let's get right into the rest of the review now, because I forgot to do the packaging first. But enough about that. But his robot mode is really intricate. I really like it. But be careful when you have these hubcaps on, because they are very small. You can lose them. So it's best if you put them on his wheels and leave him, and give him like and make him just use one, because that way you have an extra just in case you lose it. But before we get into the transformation, let's do some robot mode comparisons. Here's Prowl with his teammate in the show, Bulkhead. Now, these two look great together. I love this. They look great together. Like Bulkhead from Prime Universe fits perfectly into an animated toy shelf very well. Like, here we have Bulkhead with Prowl from Evolution. These two look perfect together. If I just take the wrecking ball off of Bulkhead's back and put it in his own hand, his offhand, if I can figure out how to open it right. Ow, dang. Ouch. Yeah, if you have like soft, well, not really soft, but if you have like really like scrapeable skin, be careful when trying to mess with these things, because sometimes they could peel your flesh off of you. See, now they two both look perfect together. But I do hope we get a version of Bulkhead that is animated universe Bulkhead. It's not a repaint. It's a slight retool of this Bulkhead that gives it the clamp claw hands. As an accessory, you could just slide over top his legacy fists, and they work the same way as they did with the original toy. And it gives you a bigger version. Oh, well, not bigger, but it gives you a much like broader version of the wrecking ball he had from the show. Basically gives you that Bandai Tamashii Nation like wire that Primal comes with. I hope we get something similar to that. I highly doubt it, but it's worth a try to get that. Ignore that he's missing a wheel. I am working on making replacements, and it will be in a link in my bio for TikTok, and there will be also a link in the description for the video, for not this video, but there will be a link for the file if you want to go 3D print some of these out. I have to see how it works at school first to figure that out. But, and that's enough with Bulkhead. If I had Transformers animated Prime, I definitely put him here, but since I don't, let's get right into the transformation. Okay, now let's get into the transformation. Now, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna take his arms, you're gonna put him into like a T pose, kinda. Well, not really, but you'll see what I'm gonna do. You take his hands, you fold them into these hollow cavities. You fold the arms back down. You take the door wings, you fold them back like so. Well, you take the head, you bend it back like this, and then leave enough clearance for, because you have to bend the head back, bend this part back to give the chest here enough clearance to flip up and over. So you gotta give it enough clearance to flip up and over. So, well, before you do that, you turn it, then you bring this up and over. You take the legs, you turn them. You turn this one this way, and the other way. You take these, you align. You see those little speedometers? You line up this gold part with those speedometers. Speedometers, if I can say it right. And you fold it up into that space. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the arms, flip this up to get it out of the way. You're gonna collapse the arms in this way. You're gonna tab them in. Then you can peg them together. Give them a good squeeze so they stay together. Now it's best if you take these and flip them in first. At least that's the way I did it. At least but before you transform the legs, you take the handlebars, you flip them, and then this tab is gonna go into that little slot right there. I was a bit confused too on this bit. Alright. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these little hubcap wings. There's a little tab. There are two little ports. Two little ports. I don't know if you can see that, but there are two little ports right there and right there. You tab these little triangles into them. And they just... let me fix that head, or straighten it up a little bit. You take the handlebars, you flip those up, you tab that triangle in there, you take that side. You could do it like either way you wanted to. You can you can do these one at a time, or you can do them all together. It depends on your personal preference. But before we what you need to do to get his leg into the wheel is you turn it. At least that's what I figured out, apparently, for some reason. Turn it, you bend it up, and it'll go right into that spot, right there. And it'll leave just enough clearance for this leg. So you basically rotate this 180 degrees, you bend it upwards. Well, see, sometimes it doesn't want to stay in place sometimes. Make sure I hold this. You bend this back. Now, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to unfold the kickstand, because it'll just be even harder to get that kickstand out if you do it that way. You take this, you flip the kickstand out. Now, there are two, it may be a bit dark, but there are two little ports that you see right there. These two tabs are going to go into... These two tabs are going to go into here. And this is a knee, his bend of the knee goes right, will go in. Okay, then the next thing you're gonna want to do is, if you, I keep coughing so much, dang. If you look right there, there's a little port in there. And you see these two tabs? You're going to want to peg the foot into those two tabs. Now, it can be a bit tricky to get it all the way tabbed in. I had that first. This guy was mighty difficult to figure out when I first opened the box off camera. So, but, and I know you guys may say, why have you been uploading just a little bit at a time? If you want to know why I've been uploading a little bit at a time, it's because I've been kind of, in the middle of a midlife crisis at the I've been in the middle of a midlife crisis in the moment, so and then you tab that in there, you bend, that elbow just sits in that spot, and then there is Animated Universe Prowl in his vehicle mode. Now, this looks exactly like how the bike did in the show, but one thing is this in the show was facing, see, told you, sometimes this doesn't want to stay together sometimes, but it ain't that bad. This is always sloped. If you go back in time and watch Transformers animated, they have it uploaded on YouTube. You look very closely at Prowl's bike mode. His headlights are folded like sloped. They're not like sticking out like the toy did. So the toys of Prowl from 2007 are basically not accurate to the actual model from the actual show. But you can fix that. Here is Transformers Animated Universe. Transformers Animated Universe Prowl next to Transformers Prime Universe Bulkhead in his vehicle mode. They're pretty much the same size, side by side of each other. I mean, to be honest, it does kind of look a bit funky when you look at the oversized bicycle. Well, not bicycle, oversized motorcycle next to this tankered military truck. That should be a lot like, it should be like this big compared to it. But there is one thing I wanted to show you guys in vehicle mode for this character. If I just transform him back, his transformation is very simple, going back and forth from vehicle to bot mode, from robot mode to vehicle mode. It's fairly simple. You just take his foot, you unwound his foot, you turn it, you take his door wings, you unfold those, you take his handlebars, you pull them back, then you take his arms, you fold them open, you fold them back, you take his feet, you fold them out, Then you take his body. You take the top part of his windshield. You fold that down. Then you flip the wings back. You take the seat. You fold it up. You take the legs. You straighten them out. You take the hands and you unfold those. We can get this hand out. And swivel around his arms. And then there you go. Okay. So with this, there's a special little thing you can do with the wheels and the legs. You can fold them up, and make sure to fold the feet back. Fold them up, fold the feet back, like this. Turn it around, and then you can have prowl skating, like Sideswipe from Transformers, both Transformers Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen. I just thought I'd point that out there because I thought it was really cool that you can do it that way. But this figure, I just love it. But also, I know we're gonna get a couple of, for the next line, for the next wave of Transformers Legacy, the third and final chapter. Is it the fourth final chapter? There's no fourth chapter. The third and final chapter of Transformers Legacy, which is being released next year, will have Transformers Animated Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Now, if we don't get a Transformers Animated redeco / repaint of this guy, of Bulkhead, I'm going to be fairly disappointed, because I want those robotic clamp claw hands instead of the generic, squared off fists. I get it, it's meant to help it where it can hold on to things, but they could have made something where it had two hands, ones that could slide in and become the clamps, and ones that you can pull out just in case you want them to hold weapons. But Prowl is amazing. I really love this figure. I hope we get a Transformers Animated Ratchet, because if you've noticed recently with Transformers Legacy, Ratchet has been absent from it. The only medic character we've only gotten from that show is from anything, really. From anything, really, is medics